I'm gonna do an unboxing on my HOLLEY TERMINATor XMAX. I'm getting to the point with my car where I need to get my computer in, figure out where I'm gonna run my harness through the firewall, and start wiring up my motor. So this is the, if I can zoom in with you guys a little bit, that is the Terminator that I got. It's the 550-919T. It's the XMAX, and it's for the 24X reluctor wheel. That's the one I have. I think there's a 24 and a 58, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, I have the 24, and the injectors I'm using FIC, Fuel Injector Clinic injectors, and they're EV6 type. And also this has transmission control because I have a 4L80E. So let's see what this thing has inside of it. Harnesses. This one has a fuse. This is a fused harness. It says direct to battery. So evidently, I believe this is your main power harness. This should be the main power into the computer. It's got some terminals and a few things with it. And not really sure what this harness is. It says specialized harness products, turbine speed. This is probably your transmission. Yep, it's got a tag on it that says trans connector. VSS, vehicle speed sensor. Turbine speed. I don't know exactly what's up with that. I don't think I have a turbine on my car, but I guess if you do, you can use this harness. So I guess this would be your transmission harness. It is fused also. This looks like a small input output. There's a number of input outputs that you can use with the Terminator. You can run these to relays to control your fan, your cooling fan. I believe what I'm going to do is I'm going to run input outputs to my fan relay, also to my transmission cooler relay, and I'm not exactly sure, but I believe the XMAX wire for the fuel pump, that's what I'm going to run to my relay for my fuel pump. So that's what's going to send a signal to turn my fuel pump on. Here's another one. This looks like the big main harness. And it's got a wideband O2 connector. I see coolant temperature sensor. So yeah, this would be your main harness. This is the harness that's going to come through the firewall. This is the one that's going to have to come from your computer through your firewall. I was just laughing. Look, I have my DD Speed Shop t-shirt on today. Dan and Danny are some of my favorites on YouTube. I watch their stuff all the time. So if you don't know about DD Speed Shop, search them on YouTube. Dan's a lot of fun. He puts out a lot of great videos, does amazing stuff in amazing amounts of time. If I lived close to him, I'd probably be over there with my car, and we could probably get my car running and have interior in it in a week. But I'm not that motivated, you know. I kind of take my time. This is a USB can. This is a USB can harness. This just plugs into your computer, and then you can plug it into your little overview screen. I don't have the overview screen right now, but I'm gonna get one. This is a little bag, and this has a bunch of adapters, and I believe what these are for, if you don't want to use a map sensor like on the back of your manifold, the Terminator has a place where you can hook up your vacuum line, and I believe it's a 1 bar, which is up to 14.7 pounds of boost. So you can actually use the Terminator. You don't have to put a map sensor. I have a place for a map sensor on the back of my intake manifold. So I have a Holley high ram, and there's actually a place for one. Not sure if I'm going to leave it in there or just block it off or just not use it for now. I think the one I have is a 3 bar, which is probably way more boost than I will ever use in this car's lifetime anyway. So, and it also has, looks like an O2 sensor bung. So if you don't have provisions on your exhaust for an O2 sensor, you can just take this little bung and drill a hole in your exhaust and weld this bung. It's just a little threaded bung that they give you. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. There's a bunch of stuff in here. And these would be your injectors. And you can tell by all the little plugs. And so you got 8 plugs here, and these are all the plugs for your injectors, and you just plug them in and roll. And I believe, last but not least, this should be where the magic happens. Yes, it is. Here we go. Terminator XMAX. So again, I was talking about those little fittings. This is the tube that goes to the internal map in this. And you can actually just hook your vacuum line up to this. Just run it through the firewall and hook a vacuum line to this instead of having to run a map sensor for your manifold absolute pressure. So that's about it. This has got 4 mounting holes, and it's got 2 here and 2 here. And so I'm gonna have to start looking at where I wanna put this. It does have indicator lights here that light up, certain lights light up to tell you everything's okay, tell you everything's working. I know during parts of programming, I think certain lights tell you different things. Again, like I said, I'm gonna have to get the instruction book, and I'm gonna have to read through the instruction manual and see what's going on. So this is just all basic stuff that I've seen on YouTube. I've heard people talk about it. So that's all I got, and that's what I'm working on now. I'm working on moving in the direction of wiring up my car, at least the engine side, so that I can pre-lube my engine and put a little bit of fuel in it and give it a start, because it definitely needs to start. It's probably been about a year since I built my engine. So I used assembly lube throughout the whole thing, a lot of WD-40, but I definitely need to start it. It's time. So I need to get going with this and hook all this up. And I know there's a lot of guys on YouTube starting them up on engine stands. One of the guys I work with, he started his on his engine stand and videotaped it, and it was cool. It made me laugh. Used a bucket and a fuel pump and a battery and just hooked everything up and put power to the Terminator and fires right up. Thanks. You guys have a great day. Hey, and I know I don't say it, but if you enjoy anything other than my blah, 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 like and subscribe, please. I need the help. Just starting out my new channel. Thanks. You guys have a great day.